Recording.
Hello, lovely people. Wendy and I are here to look at your work from the shape assignment. And again, these were meant to be abstractions of your egg beater with 5 different, directions to go with. And we're looking now at George's. And here, I think you have a wonderful interpretation of the beater. I would say be conscious about your composition. You're slightly off center. Your images are also a little bit askew just in your submission, but that's not a big deal. But if you want this to be centered, be really intentional about it or make it more off center. Small detail. Thoughts on this one, Wendy?
I think this one's nice. I mean, positive and negative.
Yeah.
And I like the composition. I think about centered, this would be like a good example for that.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was one of your strongest pieces, George. Again, it's very simple, which is great. That's what abstraction can be, is simplification. So I also really appreciated the handle, how it swoops forward into our foreground. Yeah, I thought it was terrific. This was the one where I said like everything in the composition had to be round. And so for me, I would say I wish your cutting was just a little bit cleaner, but again, minor detail. What I appreciate about this is it's getting a little bit away from the egg beater, but it's alluding to the egg.
Yeah. Especially this shape right here.
Exactly. For me, that's the strongest point. And there's something wonderful about that imbalance or not imbalance, because it's actually quite balanced, but that weight on top of the other piece. So yeah, I agree with you on that. And this one, again, using the scrippity scraps to create a composition. I personally think, again, I sometimes think the scraps are the best part, but I'm tempted to have you get rid of everything on the left side. If Wendy, you could, yeah, those 3 pieces, I would say you don't even need those. It sort of stops on the side there, but just in terms of using your scraps, I think you did it really well.
I agree. I think these 3 on the left sort of stop the flow of the composition.
Yeah. Because those 2 angles of those other, the strip and then the other angle, yeah, both of those kind of lead us, and I don't want those other 3. Mm-hmm. And this one, again, when Wendy and I just looked through these, the wild card, to me, again, beautiful simplicity. And obviously you're looking at what you have in front of you using the negative shape. And I think it's very, very effective, very graphic.
Yeah, I think this one's one of your best ones as well.
Yeah. So again, great suite of these for all of you. Be very intentional about where you position every element, especially in a 5x5 composition. Really think about the edges. Okay, so the next person we'll be looking at will be Jennifer Beatty. Oh, good grief. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is your...
them, or
pardon me?
Should I just go through all of them quickly and then?
Yeah. Yeah. So these are numbered in the corner. The round one, the first one, the beater part. Yeah.
Positive and negative, I'm assuming.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Scraps.
Scraps.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Okay, yeah, we can go through the first 5. The second part of the assignment was the option of adding white, either pencil or marker. That's right. Okay, so lovely Jennifer, really fantastic, I would say, compositions. Your image documentation is also very strong. It's really crisp, black and white. This one, to me, as in so many of the egg beaters, becomes like a human form. I can see that like the arched back of this egg beater person, but really beautiful cutting. And again, the idea of the wild card creating this wonderful abstraction of this egg beater.
I kind of forgot for a second that this was an egg beater. Like I totally...
Right?
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
Not easy to do. Terrific. Again, the idea of using the shapes, the round. This is a great example too of your sensitivity to the canvas or the area that you're creating the composition. This was the one where they're focusing just on the whisk part. Very dynamic. I feel like I'm looking down upon it and it's moving. Again, for you, be careful on the left where things touch the edge, but on the right, you know, there's a 1/4 of an inch where it doesn't, and I'm more inclined to favor the one on the right. Just like cut that off a little bit so that it doesn't like dance on the edge so much, but fabulous interpretation.
Yeah, especially because on these two, it's also not really touching the edges, so this shouldn't really be.
And it also could be your documentation, who knows, but great abstraction. I thought this was terrific. Great use of positive, negative, simple, bold. I mean, I can picture this on a tote bag for the egg beater extravaganza. Nice. Scrippy scraps. So these I will say, Jennifer, I felt that you used great restraint on these, which is not always easy. The tendency is to kind of do a lot to them. So I love that you left the upper right without any white on it at all. They really, now there's a real, to me, a real conversation going on. This one, I don't feel it as much because you had already done it so well with your cut paper. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still quite lovely.
Yeah, I almost kind of confused the pencil with the actual paper just because
Yeah,
it's so thin over here as well. So
yeah, she did such a nice job of cutting. Again, I think this is so subtle and so lovely. Your restraint is to be applauded. It's very subtle. Yeah, again, I almost wouldn't know that was on there. So you've really, to me, you're really looking very intently at this and seeing areas where this might, you know, do some kind of dynamic thing to your piece. But also keep in mind, not just these straight marks. On a previous one, you had a couple of little dots. So even the idea of, yeah, right there, those 3 little dots, as opposed to the line, think about other marks that you might use, you know, on here, even thinking about the screw or the rivets that hold together the egg beater, how something like that could enhance this, but very nice and restrained.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I love the centerpiece now. That
it adds a lot of movement.
yeah, yeah. Again, that's kind of what I was just saying. And even at the bottom here, I see these 3 white marks that weren't there before. So subtle.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The idea of this for everyone was that, you know, it's yet another tool that you can use to so that you don't have to worry about cutting every little thing out, but you can really be very selective about how you enhance or alter your very simple composition. Really nice.
Yeah, and I think it's best when it's like subtle like this, where it's almost hard to identify whether it's cut or the pencil, because that's like really utilizing, you know, the pencil as a tool to not die yourself by like cutting all the time.
Okay, so that was Jennifer, and next we'll be looking at Kathy DeVries towards the bottom. Kathy. Enlarged egg beater. Wow, again, what a textile pattern. Yay. I love how it hits the edge, how you're really going off to the edge, but I'm not feeling like you're working in the box. Fabulous. Very tribal. It's like my scarf.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. It feels like it will continue outside of the box.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Round shapes. again, great interpretation. My concern often when I say round shapes is that they become very circular, but you're using roundness in this in a really nice way.
I like the variation of weight in these. It's really
Same. Yep. Positive, negative. This one,
It's
I
more
think this,
white spaces with
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Again, I
positive
just,
and negative here, but I think the rest is mostly like the white spaces that were left behind.
yeah, I think you could do more of that positive, negative, but hopefully when you do your pattern, we'll see more of that. But again, what I appreciate about this is you have this exuberance and there's just this like boldness to your marks, which I love. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Again, Scrippy Scraps. Um, uh, I have to say it again. To me, it's very tribal. There's almost like a language in here. There is ripe possibility for again a repeated textile pattern and really thoughtful use of Scrippy Scraps.
yeah, I can't believe these were scraps.
I know, I know.
It's like they fit so perfectly with each other.
Yeah, really nicely done. Dynamic. You fill the space well. Oh my gosh, my choice, chicken and eggs. Here's the positive negative. Wow. Whoa,
Yeah,
there is a lot going on here. Wow, I'm mesmerized. The
yeah,
chicken, the eggs, the egg beater. Um, this is remarkable. Again, such incredible detail, but this, to me, the chicken and then that little circular part, so stunning. Another, like just that alone, I can picture on, I'm going to say it again, on a tote bag.
I'm
Or
picturing it on like a kitchen tile or something.
yes, definitely. Now
Yeah.
this is quite dynamic, really lovely. And I think she has one more shot that says process. Again, the white pencil for everyone was optional. Look at this, 2 egg beaters in the house. Nice. Thanks for the process shot. Love those scrippity scraps. Really strong and very, very dynamic, sweet. Okay, Kathy. Next, we have Francesca Gallo. Oh, nothing?
Nothing.
All right. Well, that is okay. We are finished, therefore, with the lovely dots. So for all of you, thank you very much. These are fantastic. And hopefully they will also guide you as you work with pattern, because I specifically said, try and stay away from pattern for now, but focus on shapes. Now you take your shapes and you make patterns. Fabulous work.